Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Scorpio. If Scorpio is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. Okay, let's get started. Okay, here we go. Let's see what these tea leaves have to say. Okay. Well, I hope you all are doing so well. It is Sunday night while I'm recording this. So it seems like the week will be beginning very soon. Not that really there's much of a difference during the week, or the weekends are busy all the time. So, anyways, I hope you all had a nice weekend or are having a nice week when you watch this. All right, let's see what we have here. We seem to have a heart, okay, and it looks like there's a bit of something, maybe in like a sword or a knife, kind of right in the side there, okay. This is super emotional for you. It's a big heart, okay. It's well formed. And it's in this emotional zone that's kind of on the edge here. That's where I think of like the emotional, the psychic, the things that are in the front of your consciousness. So this is something you're thinking about a lot and something that is also very painful for you. Okay. I want to look and see. I want to see kind of what the context is. I am kind of thinking this is not romantic though. And I want to tell you why. I pulled the Prince of Swords, okay? And this is a card that is kind of all, it's like the airiness of air. It's air on air on air, okay? So this is going to be somebody who is very intelligent, very well spoken, somebody who kind of moves quickly, quick-witted, kind of very sharp though with the way that they speak and behave. Maybe a little blunt, maybe not, doesn't really have kind of the ability to read the nuances of a situation and kind of, you know, can speak a little bit too directly or plainly, be pretty familiar. I do believe that this card to me kind of indicates though that this is going to be somebody who is like a family member, who is maybe like a sibling. I just get the vibe that this is going to be maybe somebody who you perceive to be like a sibling, or somebody who is actually your sibling. Okay. And so I see this horse right here with the head and the body and the legs. And that makes me think that you have been traveling, or you had traveled to maybe like a family event, which could be because we've had some holidays, all kinds of different representation going on for different holidays, and they kind of all are going on around the same time. So it makes me think that maybe you have been with family. Maybe you have traveled to see family. I feel like they probably weren't in your home because it just feels like a discomfort upon a discomfort. Like you weren't in the like sanctity of your own like home and temple, but you were kind of staying somewhere else, or you at least were at this event at somebody else's place. Let's see what else. I kind of am seeing like these, and now the same, we have the same formation but turned over, and I'm seeing kind of these two people, and it looks like they're in a tug of war. Okay, and it almost looks like there's a heart between them. Okay, they're kind of like fighting, but there is love there, right? And I feel like it makes sense in my mind that this would be somebody who is like somebody around your age that you grew up with. Maybe the sibling, maybe it's a cousin, maybe, you know, even like a good friend. But it's somebody that you feel like is your peer. And there is this just intense rivalry between the two of you. Okay, and I see that in the middle here, we have the V, which in my mind is like, okay, this is like versus, right? Like they're in competition constantly. I see these two eyes, and it makes me think that this person who is, you know, somebody, you do love them. I keep thinking if we could just get past some of this stuff, you could just be really good friends, you know, but it seems like most of the problem is not on your end. I think that they really do just have this thing where they're like watching everything you do in your life, and there's almost like a perception of there's like an imbalance in your success, yours versus theirs. And Pudgy, stop. I'm sorry, my cat is running into the tripod here. There's a perception that you have, I feel like anyways, it could be the other way around, I don't know, but a perception that you have done well, probably better in your life in some of the areas that seem to matter to them. Maybe financially, maybe you have a family, like a beautiful family, spouse, child, something like this. And here comes Pudgy. And I have a beautiful Pudgy. Yes, so I feel like it's definitely a case of, and come on. Come on, buddy. All the way down. Come on my lap. All right, there we go. Okay. Now you have to go down there. Sorry, buddy. Okay, so. Okay, I apologize about that. This cat was not letting it go. He just... Sometimes I let them come in here during my readings, and I love to, but sometimes they're just very adamant about getting right on top of things. So, apologize. Okay, so we have this situation where I just feel like there's a lot of kind of jealousy, resentment. It seems like... I'm seeing two things here. I think that this person is probably either like a Taurus, because I'm seeing a bull, or they're a Capricorn because I'm seeing a goat. Either way, I think they're very kind of like bullheaded, right? Or you just can't say anything to them to change their mind. Okay, they don't see things reasonably. They get an idea kind of stuck in their head, and that becomes their belief. And I think that their belief is that they're in competition with you, no matter what. Okay, and I think this has probably been going on, like I said, since the beginning, since you were little, right? And always kind of, I get the sense that there's like been sniping, and now this part maybe goes both ways. I think that you both kind of bicker, you both kind of snipe each other, maybe a little kind of belittling here and there. But I think as you've gotten older and you know, you've grown up, you've you know, have your life and everything. This is not really the energy that you are bringing, but I think that they're kind of stuck in this. I also think that, which kind of makes it harder, I'm sure, that, and this is totally goes with that Prince of Swords energy, is that this person is very eloquent, very charming, kind of like a politician within the family. I think that they are really good at kind of creating an atmosphere with people, kind of, you know, really getting them to kind of believe their, you know, their stories. Not necessarily, it's not like an outright lie, but I think that there's like a lot of just kind of, I don't know, creating an attitude and really like kind of spreading that among your family members. But the interesting thing, and I think, you know, this happens often in families, is that they don't really act on the things that they're saying. Like, I feel like they have this kind of superiority, like, I do so much and I'm so helpful and supportive to family members, maybe like grandparents or your parents, and like, you know, taking care of them and doing this and but they really aren't doing that much. But here you are probably showing up often and doing a lot for your family members. Okay. And, they you know, they don't like the fact that you're so involved, because it kind of like puts you in a favorable position, but they also are unwilling to do more work to help, right? So they just kind of use their words and kind of tainting of other people's minds, their propaganda campaigns, to kind of you know, make people feel like they do more than they're actually doing. And this is definitely within that kind of Prince of Swords energy. So I think that this is really frustrating for you. I feel like you probably have even gotten to a point where you don't really say much at all. You just kind of go about things, but it does really kind of, you know, it bothers you for sure, especially when you have to be around them in person. It could even be online. I mean, social media is notorious for these kinds of people to just, you know, they have like a whole like image going, and you know, on Facebook or whatever it is, and it's not anywhere close to the truth, right? And it's just, it gets under your skin, or they're on there commenting, saying wild stuff, or you know, just whatever. And I don't think that they engage you publicly, but I'll say that I think that this is more of like that politician kind of thing, where they'll be kind of, you know, belittling you privately to other people. And, but they don't want to look bad in the day, you know, the light of the day. Of course not. So, you know, breathe. just at this moment in the reading, just pause and breathe, because I know it's maddening. But, also, let's keep looking. Let's see what else we have in here. I feel like I keep looking at this and it reminds me of, especially if you grew up in an area that has snow, you might have had something, and it could be by different names, but called King of the Hill. And it was kind of like where there'd be a big snowbank, or, you know, a big mountain of snow. And kids go up there and they push each other off to see whoever can be at the top of it, right? And whoever is like holds the top longest is the king of the hill, right? And so I feel like this is kind of just the energy that had gone on for so much of your life. It's just this kind of struggling between the two of you. And I really think that whatever has happened recently, it's kind of, isn't it interesting when we can like excel in so many parts of our lives. You could be the CEO of a company, you know, have a nice house, a great life and everything. But when you go home and somebody you grew up with makes you feel little or small, you just get back into this weird mindset of like, of feeling that way. You know, they really can play. Nobody can play on our weaknesses or our insecurities or push our buttons like our family, right? So I feel like this last time, whatever came up, it has taken a great deal of your time and emotional resources, because you are just like not getting over it. I think you feel really upset about something, okay? I think that it's important to remember that nothing that you can say or do is going to change how this person behaves. And I think you know that, right? You've been around them long enough to know that whatever happened, they probably orchestrated, or at least, you know, acted on an impulse. And that's being generous maybe, acted on an impulse to like really push your buttons or, you know, get you stirred up or whatever. And it's really, I think, kind of working. So I think that it's super important for you to try to turn away from this. Just let it go. Do something else. Get involved in something else. The phrase or the line that comes to mind is, tend your own garden lest it wither away, right? Right? So stop focusing on something that's out of your control. Stop focusing on something that probably is not affecting your day-to-day life, right? The life that you have with your family unit and your career and, you know, just whatever's going on right now, whatever you have going on in most days, right? Is not being affected by whatever this person has to say, but they're affecting your emotions. So it is, you know, kind of poisoning the well, so to speak. But you should turn away from it if you can, as much as you can, and focus on doing the things that you do well. And, you know, nurturing your garden, cultivating your garden, maybe taking on some new interests, hobbies, passions, whatever it is. Sow some seeds, you know, do some new things to add to that beautiful garden you already have, okay? And don't let them get under your skin. I know it's hard though. I do. Okay, let's see. We have right here a little snail. Let's see, I don't want to move it too much. I'm afraid it's going to move, but we have a little snail. And for that, I just think slow and steady, right? Just let it go, slow and steady in your own life. Keep working on the things you're working on. You know, there's just nothing to be done with people like this. I mean, really, if they're not making you feel unsafe, of course, or they're not like actually physically trying to fight with you, or, you know, something really just out of pocket, then I would say just, you know, try to ignore it, you know. And I don't know. These kinds of readings give me a little bit of anxiety, just because I just think about like how that feels when somebody is just so strong-willed to like stir up problems in other people's lives. And it's like, you know, you just want to go about your business and get over things, you know, get over the old stuff, you know. And this is, okay, so this one is going to be weird, possibly. I don't think this will relate to too much of anybody. I don't even know that anybody listens to this far in the readings, really. But if you are, and if this does relate to you, I would like to know. I would like you to leave a comment. But I'm seeing this dog, and I forgot to bring this up earlier, but I'm seeing this dog. And what came to mind immediately in my head is that one of the really profound, like, kind of things that happened in, like, maybe your youth with this person that we're talking about is that it's almost like I get the idea of like a family pet, like possibly a dog, maybe a cat or a bird, something that was under their care, but you cared about this animal a lot. You probably all did, but I think it was either under their care or kind of a situation where you were maybe your parents weren't home and it was just you two home together or whatever, or you were just maybe playing outside together, and I just get the feeling that there weren't really parents around, okay? And that somehow this animal was injured, okay? And I think it was an accident, right? Something like it ran out in the street or something like this, okay? I feel like there's a lot of guilt, but also, like, I feel like there's a lot of, like, there was, like, the beginning of resentment in this moment, okay? Where it was, like, either they blamed you or you were upset because they were supposed to be watching the animal and you loved the animal and the animal got hurt. Something like that. But and this is super specific and odd, I know, but sometimes like these kind of like little images come to mind where it's like, or, you know, little scenarios kind of come up in my mind, and it's like, I have to say it just in case somebody is listening and they're like, oh my gosh, that happened. So, anyways, that came through for me to tell you, to add to this reading. But also there's the dog there, and I was like, okay, there is this sense of also loyalty between you two, because you're family in some way, right? And you can't just walk away from each other. No matter what, you have a shared history. Even if you never spoke again from this day on, there is a sense of bond and loyalty to one another that can't be broken. Okay, so this is also kind of why I just really sense that this is kind of like a sibling, because there's, you know, unless, you know, you grew up and you felt like a sibling kind of thing. But okay, so that's it. That's the reading. Yeah, so you know, sometimes I do these readings and I think, God, I hope nobody relates to this. Just because it, you know, I don't want anybody to be in conflict in their family like that, but you know, that's life, I guess. We all have kind of our things, especially when it comes to the people that are our families. So anyhow, I want to thank you so much for spending this time with me, Scorpio. I really do appreciate every moment. And I'm always so honored to bring these messages to you. If you'd be so kind as to like the video, that helps me get in the algorithm and slowly build the channel. And yeah, that's, you know, it's really nice to see that it is growing a little bit by little bit. And if you haven't subscribed, please think about doing so. If you hit the little bell, it will let you know when the next videos are coming out. We are on a schedule now where I'm doing 2 readings a day, 6 days a week. And that means every video, or every sign is being read once a week. So the next Scorpio should be out in about 7 days. In the time between now and then, you can watch your other placements if you want to, your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising. And I know people watch their Venus a lot too. Also, I know that people cross watch quite a bit as well. So you can do that too. And other than that, if you want to leave me a comment, especially if that dog thing resonated or the pet thing resonated. I hope it didn't, but if it did, I want to hear from you. Or you could just leave a message or, you know, leave a comment. And I love hearing from all of you. You are so nice and encouraging and keep me wanting to make these videos and do these readings and stuff. So I appreciate that. So thank you, Scorpio. We will talk again very soon.